Arizona baseball opens their season exactly 3 weeks from today against UAlbany. So head coach Jay Johnson and a couple players met with the media before holding their first official scrimmage. Pitching has been a big topic during the offseason as the Wildcats struggled last year on the mound. It was one of the first topics discussed during Friday's media session.
Yeah, I think we have about 6 guys that we're extending their pitch count, and we'll have them at 90 pitches the weekend before the season starts, with the expectation, if they're executing, that they can get to that 90 pitch mark opening weekend. And I think that we have about 6 guys we're building up for that, and we're doing something a little different with the relievers. Is we're kind of extending their count as well, because it's always a little easier to pull them back to a lower amount than try to build them up as we go. The strike zone pressure I thought was good during the fall, and frankly, minimizing the free bases is going to minimize the opponent's opportunity to score. And I do think we have several guys that can attack the strike zone with several pitches. And if you can do that, you're putting pressure on their offense to have to earn what they get. And I think by doing that and then playing really good defense, that's going to put us in a good position.
Well, the coaching staff, absolutely second to none. With the hiring of Nate yesterday, that was huge. He has a pedigree and an awesome track record and resume. And so I think, just kind of picking his brain, I think that'll definitely help me moving forward. Everything he says matters. I've had a conversation where it's like, oh my, he knows his stuff. He's very serious, and kind of after the first time I got off the phone with him, I was like, all right, he's about his business, and that was something I was really excited for. And he's obviously implemented a pretty good plan here for the pitchers, and I think you guys will see a pretty big jump in the pitching staff.
I feel like there's a lot of guys that come out here, and you can tell that they're here to get guys out. They're not here to show out for themselves. They're not here for the guys. We talked last night about the guys behind the screen instead of the guys on the field. Nobody cares about the guy who's throwing for the guys behind the screen. Those guys are always there. But throwing for each one of the guys that are on our team, throwing for them and doing whatever they can to get that guy out and get our offense in to hit. That's obviously what we're here for. We're here to hit. So if we can hit more than we're on the field, then we'll be in a pretty good spot.
Offensively, Arizona brings back a ton of talent, including Ryan Holgate, Matthew Dyer, and Austin Wells, to name a few, leaving Coach Jay Johnson with the good problem of fitting all those players on the field. One thing is clear, the Wildcats have plenty of options.
Looking at it, through the winter after fall baseball, I'd say probably 13 of 13 guys for 9 spots, if you will. Yeah, I like to have 12. I think if you look back at our track record in terms of offensive success and developing players, we're continually getting good ones to Arizona, and I think our depth has really increased each year. Even the year we went to Omaha, it was like, man, I hope somebody doesn't get hurt kind of deal. There was 10 guys that we really ran out there game in and game out, and I think that's increased each year, and I think we're in a good spot. I think the good part that maybe makes this group a little bit different is we have a little more experience. We played so many of those guys as freshmen that this won't be the first time that they've gone through this.
No, 100%. I love it. It just comes to show that you got to put in the work. If you want to be out here and you want to be in the starting 9, that it's not handed to you here at this program. It's something that you have to work for, and you have to show. You have to show that you belong in that 9, and if you don't show it, then the next guy up is going to take your spot and he's going to run with it. So.
What can you say about Austin's evolution?
Great player. I think for me it always comes back to, is that talent usable in the game, and he has such good aptitude, good awareness for the things that he needs to do to get himself prepared to play, to improve, that his skill shows up on the field, which allows all of you to see it. That's not always the case. There's always that gap between talent and how it shows up on the field, but he has the head, he has the heart, and he has the ability where that's been very consistent for us. I think with Ryan, everybody knows his power, everybody knows the threat that he is. Kind of some things that we've put on the table for him and he's put on the table for himself is he really wants to be a complete baseball player and become a great baseball player. And I think he's well on his way to that, and really excited to see the change in his body and how that impacts his ability to perform. Because of his ability, he can really impact the game even when you don't see it. He's a threat, to hit the ball out of the stadium every time he comes to the plate. And if you make a mistake, he's going to do that. Therefore, he has to be pitched, a little differently than some other guys, which sometimes leads to walks. I think he walked 35 times last year and really does a good job of moving the offense. And so, the home runs, the RBIs, those are going to get the headlines, but that's not only the only way to help your team win as an offensive player. And I think Ryan adds a lot of value to our team.
I mean, Ryan Holgate has taken some tremendous jumps. I mean, I wasn't here last year, but I mean, that guy's a tough out. I saw him hit, I swear it was like 5 home runs in a row at one point, probably like 4 of those off me. No, he's a stud. He's a pretty tough out. He's got a great eye, obviously super strong. He's really smart when he's in the batter's box. He's a tough out. Obviously, you have Dyer, Wells, Dooney. I mean, I could name the whole lineup. They're all tough outs.
I feel good about the process that we've kind of taken this team through, the fundamentals that we've taken them through, and the talent, in terms of that. So I'm really excited for that all to play out.